All right, it's now time for tip number 1 for how to win in the sport of thinking. Here's what I want you to do. Repeat this after me. The classroom is my gym. The library is my weight room. And my teacher is my coach. That's right. The classroom is my gym, the library is my weight room, and my teacher is my coach. If this is a rule that you apply to your sport of thinking, then I guarantee you'll have a lot of success. Let me tell you why. You want to approach your classroom as your gym. Think of a gym for any sport. Basketball players, that's not only where they practice, but it's also where they play the game. So here's the deal. Since your classroom is your gym, that's where I want you to think of as your place to practice, but also where you play the game. What do I mean by playing the game? Every team, if they're a great team, they look forward to the big game. Maybe they have a big game every week. Maybe they have a contest every week where they get a chance to show off their skills. That's exactly what you get from time to time. Instead of a contest, you take tests. And those tests are opportunities for you to show off your skills. And it takes place in the classroom. So every time you come into that classroom, you got to think of it this way. This is where I'm getting ready for the big game. So every day, you got to look at it as me learning something new today so that when it comes time to take the test, I'm going to blow it away. I'm going to have more in my arsenal so that I can blow that test away. That's how great athletes think, and that's how great athletes in the sport of thinking think as well. Second part of that, the library is my weight room. The library is full of information. Why do we call it the weight room? Because that's where you're really strengthening your brain. Instead of your biceps or your triceps, you're strengthening your brain, your mental muscle. And the library is a great place for you to do that. Not only are there books and magazines, and I hope you have access to computers in your library, but the bottom line is this. Every great athlete knows that you need strength in order to be effective out on the field or on the court. And you as an athlete in the sport of thinking, that's where you develop your strength. In a book, in a magazine, on a website that has information, you develop your strength so that you can be more effective in practice and more effective in the game or on the test. And so the last part of that is my teacher is my coach. That is so important because if you see your teacher as your coach, what that means is you'll see that you guys are on the same team. The bottom line is this. Coaches for every team that if they're a good coach, for every team that they coach, they are looking for ways to help each and every player become better so that the team as a whole can become better. So when your teacher asks you to do certain assignments, it's not because she's mean or that he doesn't like you. Bottom line, it's ways for them to help you become better at what you do. Can you imagine if LeBron James got upset every time his coach said, I want you to shoot 25 free throws? Can you imagine if he had a tantrum? If he said, Coach, why do I got to shoot 25 free throws? Or if he talked in the locker room to one of his teammates after the game, you know what, I can't stand Coach. He's always making me do free throws. Can you understand how ridiculous that is? But the same thing applies to your game, your sport of thinking.
The sport of thinking, when I'm not listening, I'm not learning.
When I'm not learning, I'm losing.
When the teacher asks you to do an assignment, it's because he or she wants you to become better at what you do. Because they know that if you're better at what you do in practice, you're going to be better at what you do on the test or in the big game. So your teacher is your coach. It's a very, very important way to look at that relationship. Check it out. We're going to have some footage coming up right now. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. As always, my boys, Team Acrodunk, here we go. All right, welcome back. I want to talk for just a second about great athletes, great players. Here's the deal. A great player actually looks for the best competition because they know if they play other great players, their game is going to elevate. A great player that only goes up against people that he can beat, his game actually gets worse. The real deal is that for you as a player, an athlete in the sport of thinking, you want big challenges. You want hard questions. You want assignments that require you to dig deep, because that's the only way that you're going to grow. When you think of a muscle, for instance, and people that bodybuild or lift weight, the only way that that muscle grows and gets bigger and stronger is if it meets resistance, and it has to work harder. That's exactly how the sport of thinking works. When you have challenges that require you to go places you've never gone before with your mental muscle, it gets stronger. You can figure out things. You have now things in your arsenal that allow you to realize, you know what? If I can't find the answer this way, maybe I can find it this way. You not only become more creative, but you become more innovative. Not only more innovative, but you become more flexible in how you approach things. And that's the great thing about the sport of thinking is you know that if you have a tough challenge ahead of you, that's a good thing. Because on the other side of that challenge, when you beat that challenge, you'll be stronger, you'll be smarter, you'll be more effective in the sport of thinking, just like every great athlete knows. So we're interested in you guys looking at assignments that you get and being hungry for them, being excited about them, because you know at the end of the day, you're gonna be faster, stronger, better, and more effective in the sport of thinking. So once again, we're gonna close this out with some footage from the fellas, and as you watch this, keep in mind, they would not be able to do what you are watching them do if they did not accept the challenge from their coaches to do bigger, better, harder, more difficult skills in training so they can perform at the level of excellence that you're about to see.
The more noise you make, the higher reflex is gonna fly. So let's make some noise. Let's go.
So we're done for now with tip number 1 for how to win in the sport of thinking. Remember, that tip is, the classroom is my gym, the library is my weight room, and my teacher is my coach. Tune in next week. We're gonna have one more tip and certainly some more action, just like what you're about to see. You guys are gonna enjoy this. I'm 6'4", check it out. We'll see you next week. Peace.